Hey friends, it's me, Christiana Gaudet, your Tarot Fairy Godmother. It's Saturday and it is time for the Saturday Psychic Sampler. Oh my goodness, this is, as you know, my favorite live of the week where you ask specific, juicy questions and I will do my best to give you specific, juicy answers. And I will do this. I will take these questions in the order in which I see them. So thanks for being here and thanks for getting your questions in. As you can see, I am once again working with the beloved Lightseers Tarot. And let's get going. All right. First up is George. Thanks for being here. Am I going to make it to Canada soon? Let's take a look and see what we see. Okay. George, am I going to make it to Canada soon? There are certainly people who are helping you do that, and you are certainly impatient to have it happen. I feel like there's a lot that stands in the way, though. It will happen. So I guess it depends what you mean by soon. It will happen. There are people helping you, but I think it's going to take a little more time. Mix you here. Michelle, so nice to see you. Thanks for being here. I got a job. Finally, congratulations. That's fabulous. Will it be okay? It's just out of entry, but my supervisor seems nice. What do I need to know about it? It's full-time, only 2 days in the office, would actually have benefits and vacation. That is cool. Oh my gosh. Let's see. How will the job be? I mean, you're not going to love it, but you'll master it and do it very, very well. This is great. This is great, especially if you want to have an actual life. You can do this job, make money. You'll probably rise through the ranks pretty quick. It's a relatively easy job for you and you'll like a lot of the people. And so if you want to grow with it, you can or not as you see fit. But I think this would really support you in building your tarot business if that's what you want to do. So I think at first you're just going to like get used to what it is to be having the full-time employment. But then I think once you have that underpinning of money coming in every week and you know what your schedule is and you're now used to your schedule, I think that's really going to open you up to be able to build your tarot business to the point that you might not need said job in the long run, just saying. For now, though, I think this is great. I really do. I'm excited for you. It's fine. It's fine. It's not career, but it could enable you to create your career. So that's good. So, Justine, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for being a moderator. Thanks for using members-only emojis. So you haven't quite started your job search yet. Excuse me. I'm still finishing up some kind of home project stuff, and returning to work during back to school has been killer. Am I fidgeting as an excuse? What will be the greatest challenge for me finding a suitable full-time job? I think you're in the greatest challenge of it right now. I think the greatest challenge of it is you're so afraid, and you're not afraid of the work. You're afraid that you're not going to get the job. And like, I really think that's the worst part. And are you like fidgeting because you're afraid of that process? Well, yeah, you wouldn't have asked the question if you didn't already know the answer to that one. Yes. And it's okay. You know, you'll get there when you get there. But yeah, I think you're really afraid because since the last time you had, you know, this sort of a job, so much has happened. So much has happened. And so it's weird to think about going back to it, but going back is actually perhaps the way forward. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like this is sort of what gives you the opportunity to open up to whatever else you want to open up to. That could be going to school, that could be a tarot career, that could be your own business, it could be a lot of things. But having this job will give you that underpinning. And I think that's the other thing is you're worried you're going to get the job. And then all of these other things that you have become and that you enjoy, the creative stuff, the spiritual stuff, will just go out the window because now you're working just this straight jobby job and that's what you're doing. But no. You get the jobby job to support all the other stuff. It works together. So don't worry. All right. So, who's next? It's Trey Cameron. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member here. Can I get some basic details about this past life in around 3000 BC in China, like the gender? I was told this by someone, and you confirmed that there was some truth that, to this in a previous reading on here. Okay, so we're looking at that life, that lifespan. What can we tell you about that lifespan? Okay, I'm going to say it was not the easiest life. I'm going to say that you knew much suffering, but I believe that you were male. And I'm going to say that you maybe tended to the suffering. Maybe you were some sort of a doctor, some sort of a healer, and you tended those who were suffering. And so it was a difficult life, but for you, it felt like what you needed to do. That's what I see. And did I say male? Male. All right. Let me know how that resonates. Adriana Belange, so nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. And hang on one second here. There you are. Hi. Okay, Adriana Belange. When is Emma, our current CEO, going to step down, leave the company so we can have a new CEO? She's been in power for 6 years now, and we need a change. Okay, so when will the CEO leave? I don't feel like the CEO has any plans of leaving right this minute. And you're right, it's kind of time. But I don't think that the CEO has plans of leaving. Are there other people, board of directors, things like that would want to unseat her? Yes, there are others that would want to unseat her. So I think there's going to be this whole thing. I figure maybe she has 6 months, maybe she has a year, but I don't think she's thinking about it. I don't think she knows that. But yeah, 6 months to a year. Adrija Roy, so nice to see you. Rest of August and September for work and love and any new job prospects. So when we look at like the rest of August and September, so say over the next 6 weeks or so, job prospects, actually, yes, I think you will be moving forward on new job prospects, although that whole process is difficult. When we look at the current job will be, well, there's a reason you're looking for another job. Let's just put it that way. So the current job is fine. It's fine. But there's a reason you're looking for another job. And I think there will be prospects even in this time frame. So be open. Now, as far as love life is concerned in the same time frame, I think the primary focus is going to be work and getting where you want to be work-wise. And I think some things might really happen, might really move in that direction. Love life, nothing that shows up specific one way or the other. But I feel like getting the work life where you need it to be could facilitate everything else. Okay. Dr. Aled, Robin Renee, thanks for being here. What does the universe want me to know? All right. The universe wants you to know that you have friends, and more you're getting friends in high places. And so you should be patient and keep cultivating your network. Be patient, keep cultivating your network, because that will increase your net worth. That was fun, right? All right, Christina R., so nice to see you. I have 2 weeks left to fly into clinical. Is anything going to come through at the 11th hour? Let's take a look. And we know the cards have been kind of all over the place here, but have ultimately been have reflected your frustration, but have ultimately been positive. And whether that's just positive for the path in general to be encouraging during this difficult time, or whether it is a predictor of the 11th hour Hail Mary pass, let's find out. What do we see? Do we see anything coming through in the next 2 weeks? This, I would say the cards are saying it could go either way. Anything could happen. Be prepared either way, and be prepared to deal with it either way. And if it doesn't come through, be okay with that. Let that be. Let that be. Yes, it takes longer. Yes, it costs more. Yes, it's obnoxious. But if that's what it is, deal with it. Because you are on a path to get where you're going, and nothing is going to take you off that path. And that's the important thing to know. All right. Nalini Kalu, so nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. We appreciate you. Thanks for using members-only emojis. I've been struggling lately, sad, tired, and fed up. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to work through everything with compassion for myself and others. I just need to know, what form of happiness can I expect? So not just a general, will everything get better? I need hope in a specific area. I'm so tired of having nothing to look forward to. And, man, I feel you, and thank you for sharing that. And I think it's so interesting that a few other people sort of in the chat came back and said, yeah, we feel that, we hear that, you are not alone. That's really, really clear. And thank you, everyone, for being supportive of each other. So I will do that reading. Let me just address Trey. That's exactly the story you were thinking, a male healer. So there you go. So either we're on to it, or I'm psychic enough to pluck that out of your brain, and we'll never know which is true. Right? We know some phenomenon has occurred. We don't know what the phenomenon is. But, I'm perfectly comfortable taking it as confirmation on that past life, because I think that does have bearing to who you are today. So, but, take it as you will. And you've always had an interest in TCM, traditional Chinese medicine. That's cool. Okay, Nalini, I've stalled long enough. Here we go. I think it comes in layers. The first layer of happiness is in recognizing your own agency over your life. It really has to do with your relationship with yourself. I think a next layer of happiness comes from your creativity and your spirituality. And it is from there that you find really a great deal of healing as well. I think another, maybe these are like rungs on the ladder to happiness, or layers that we peel away to find our happiness. The next thing I think is going to be love, romance, home, family, all of that stuff. All of that stuff. And if you have it now and just need to learn how to do it, or if it's going to be someone new, I don't know. But there it is. And that's really what you're preparing yourself for, is you're preparing yourself. You don't need the fancy schmanciest life. You need a great partner, a sense of family, a nice home, enough money. That's really all you need to feel super wealthy. And that is indeed what's coming for you. So there you go. Okay, Trip Row, you're up next. My question is, what should I focus on this week ahead? Figuring out what is true versus what people are telling you. whether this is personal or professional, spiritual, political, technological, health-wise, I do not know. But question everything. Question the things you believe, the things you've been taught to believe. Question the things people are telling you. Question everything and do the research. Figure it out. Don't do stupid confirmation bias research. We can all find things to confirm our bias. Do actual, real, nuanced thinking research to figure out who is true and who is lying. All right. Okay, and Ness, about the fact that, everyone's feeling out of sorts right now, says maybe it's a planetary stage. It's a hair in the mouth stage. Oh, how much do I hate that? And yet I wear my hair like so freaking long, right? Whatever. Aren't there like 5 planets in retrograde right now? I mean, you hear me screaming about Venus because that's like my particular pet peeve one. But there's a lot going on planetarily. So Ness, I think you've got a really good point for sure. All right. So here we go. Justine, you're up next. And Justine, we appreciate you. Thanks for being a member, a moderator, using members only emojis, all the things. Like, we all want you to get a great job. But then I'm like, but we're going to miss you in all the broadcasts. So, my mom has a burning question. Hello, Janine. Nice to see you. About 2 guys she's been talking to online. One of them lives in Virginia, and she wants to know what are the chances they'll ever meet for real. The other one is named Jeff. Okay. So let's see. And first of all, Janine, good for you for putting it out there and meeting people. You got it. It's the right thing to do for sure. So the guy who lives in VA, in Virginia, first of all, I mean, the first question is like, is he for real? Like, is he who he says he is? And I feel like he's had a lot of issues, but who hasn't, man? That's everybody. So if he's told you he's had a lot of issues, that's probably true. And if he told you that he's looking for a relationship for real, that's probably true too. Do we think there'd be compatibility here? Maybe. Do I think you'll ever meet? I don't know. I feel like the distance may be too great and the compatibility may be not enough. Now, you didn't ask, but we also have Jeff. So what about Jeff? Jeff is a mystery, man. He is really interesting. Is he as he says he is? I would say there is a real discrepancy between Jeff as he's presenting and Jeff as he is. So keep a real eye out. I'm not saying he's like completely a catfish, but I am saying he's not as he represents himself. Now, so I'm going to say keep trying, keep looking. You will find what you're looking for. That's the key. Don't settle for less. All right. Hey, Smile Soul 20. Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member here. The next question I see is Barbie Bird. Thank you for being here and thank you for being a member. Thanks for using members only emojis. I'm looking for guidance for August, September regarding my transition to a new location and navigating seeing familiar faces, not all positive, at my friend's wedding next week. I understand completely. So let's work backwards. Let's start with, navigating those faces at the wedding. The thing is, some of the people you're going to deal with here, you have unfinished business with. You have not closure. You do not have closure with some of this. But from their perspective, like they may have a very different perspective. So they may be happy to see you, and you may be like, no. But we're all here to celebrate this wedding. And I mean, I have questions about that too. Like, what I want to say is, let's just focus on wishing the bride and groom well, or the bride and bride, or the groom and groom, or whoever it is, wishing the married couple well. And Barbie's like, I'm nervous. Let's all just join together to wish them well. Although I have to say, I think that there's problems with this union to begin with. Like, there's so much about this whole story that is problematic, it's not even funny. But that's not the question you asked me. I think the way to navigate it is just be the bigger person. You're going to see some people who have really hurt you and have never acknowledged it. This is not the time to show that pain. This is not the time to call them out. This is the time to recognize that if you were getting revenge, the best revenge is a life well lived. So just walk in looking marvelous, darling, and let them all see that you're living a great life. That's the best you're going to do. And you say, you're just there to focus on your friend and her happiness. And that's good. That's good. Yeah. And Barbie, you may ask, but you may not hear the real truth. Just be ready to be a friend. Like, later on, be ready to be there as a friend. I'm just saying. All right. And regarding your transition to your new location, this is hopeful. This is hopeful. This is a nice, fresh start in a way, like where you're coming out of some difficulty and you're going into a fresh start. So I'm just open to fresh starts for you, and I think that's a beautiful thing, and I think you should be open to beautiful things happening to you. And you bought a beautiful dress yesterday, so yeah, that was the right thing to do. So just look marvelous. That's the bottom line. Look marvelous and support your friend. And, the transitions you're making in your life are really good. It's the right thing. All right. Janine Barnes, it's so nice to see you. Thanks for being here. And let me just say, before I do your reading, Janine, thank you, Justine, for the super sticker. Really appreciate it. That's really kind. Thank you. And Amy confirming all the retrogrades. Venus retrograde and Mercury retrograde is about to happen. Oh my gosh. And Justine, Mom says, thank you. She is all giddy now. Happy to hear she'll find what she's looking for. Yes. Just tell her to keep looking. Do not give up, and do not settle. Do not give up, do not settle. No more settling for fixer-upper models. Done. All right. Hang on, let me go back and find. We are now going to... Janine Barnes, thanks for your patience. What advice do you give to overcome obstacles of moving home? I mean, I think you really have to look at all of the things that home means. On an emotional level, there's a lot going on there. And there's a lot that's internal. And recognize that this could be an amazing opportunity for healing, for internal healing. And then there's also just some real practical things, like it looks like you are trying to make some decisions that will put you at a practical advantage. And so looking at that aspect is also good. All right. All right, the next question, Amy Foreman. Amy, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Amy's an intensive presenter at StarCon 2024. She'll be teaching lip print readings. So cool. Okay, so you have a gig tonight reading tarot for an event. What do I need to know to be best prepared for this one? Yeah, each one's different, right? So for this gig, actually, I think this gig is going to be straightforward. If it's outdoors, be prepared for not the best things outdoors. So wind or heat, or you know how the outdoor things can be. But I think it's going to be one of those where the people are decent, but actually like their real issues come up in the cards when you're trying to do the 5-minute reading and the cattle call, so enjoy that. Be ready to talk about real issues in a succinct way. But overall, I think it's going to be a quick and easy gig as gigs go. All right. Melissa, it's so nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for using members-only emojis. Today is the 5-year anniversary of your grandfather's passing. Any messages from him? Yeah, he wants you to know that he has never left your side, that he is with you, and he sees more clearly now just what your challenges are, and he is trying to send you his energy. As he finds healing, he's trying to send you his energy for healing. Okay. Madiha Ness, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for using members-only emojis. How can I best help my daughter this fall? So as she goes back to school, make sure she's actually getting enough sleep, and recognize that there may be some things that are bothering her where she's going to feel like she has to handle it on her own, or she doesn't want to talk about it. And I think you're going to have to really look at, like, when she doesn't want to talk about things, I think sometimes you have to respect her privacy, and sometimes you have to push a little, because she really does want to talk about things. She just needs to be pushed. And so this is like that delicate thing where respect her need for privacy, but also respect her need to have her mom push her into spilling the beans on whatever might be bothering her. Because even though you have a close relationship and she trusts you, it's still hard to bring up some things that you don't even necessarily have the vocabulary for yet. So it's her internal processes, which is kind of appropriate for the age she's at. And just being very mindful of that is going to be key. Good luck. And Amy Foreman, I want to thank you so much for the generous super chat. I really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Okay, Reaper TV, so nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Okay, what will be the outcome of Pegman? We are building the liquor delivery application now. I think if you can keep it funded, to get it to production and distribution, if you can keep the funding, it will be really, really, really good. The problem is keeping it funded in the beginning. You know, that's what it takes. But if you can do that, it's going to be really, really, really good. All right, Kanchan Verma, so nice to see you. Thinking about learning some professional makeup, not necessarily wanting to take it as a career for personal use. How do you see it going? That's so cool, man. What a cool thing to learn. I think this would be a great skill for you to know. I most definitely think you don't want to do it professionally, but I think you would love to learn. I think it would be so much fun, and it would give you so much confidence. Okay, Ravena, nice to see you. Thanks for being here. I would like to know if I will make significant progress in my skills as a tarot reader by the end of the year. Well, spend time with us on this channel. That's what we're here to help you do. I think you can, but I think you've got a lot of preconceived notions about it that you need to let go of in order to really open up to all that you can do with it. I think you're limiting yourself in your thinking. Okay. Tortoiseshell Moon, Kathy, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member here. I'm currently feeling disconnected and unfulfilled. Boo hiss, I'm sorry. And I don't know why. Everything's going great, but I'm trying to fill gaps in my soul via retail therapy. I know the feeling. I know the feeling. How can I feel content? I'm having a real Four of Cups moment. I understand. I get it. So I think the question is, why are you feeling this way? You know, like you say, okay, to your knowledge, everything is going well. So the real question is, what the heck is going on with you, Kathy? What the heck is coming up for you that's causing this? That's the real question here. And the answer is, it's really something. This is not you being a spoiled brat. This is not you being ungrateful or ingracious. This is you at a time when things in your life are going well, where you have a little bit of space, and now some old stuff that needs healing is coming up. I think it could be childhood stuff. I think it could be stuff having to do with your father, maybe having to do with earlier relationships in your own life. But I feel like you've got some stuff coming up, so you're doing healing, and I think it's a really good time to talk to a therapist or do some journaling or do some tarot reading on what the heck is coming up. As the onion layer peels away, what is being revealed, and how do you process that and heal from it? And then you will feel content. That's what I think. All right. At least content for the moment until the next layer comes, because it's always like that, right? All right. Kitty Beckwith, nice to see you again. I've pulled the Three of Swords 2 days in a row as my daily card. Not sure what that means, slightly nervous. Well, what I would say about that, Kitty, I'm going to tell you what I think, and then I'm going to do a reading on it, okay? And thank you, everyone, for your feedback. I see it. I don't always read it aloud, but I really do appreciate it. So, Kitty, I would say, if you're seeing the Three of Swords stalking you, what I would say is, where do you need healing? You know, where should you be turning your attention for healing? But, you know, let's do a reading on it, Kitty. Like, what is the Three of Swords trying to tell you? I think it's something that you're hanging on to, that you're telling yourself a story, something from your past. You're holding on to a particular story. It's something about abandonment, where you feel abandoned, or some relationship that didn't work out and you feel abandoned in that way. And it's a story you're telling yourself, and I think this is coming up saying it's time to acknowledge what has hurt you and find a way to let it go and heal. Okay. Okay. So, and Febborn has come in just with a tarot question, a divination question. So I'm going to skip the line for that, just because it's such an interesting question. And so, can I use playing cards for tarot and how to prepare the spread? It's for personal use only. You can. Now, there are ways to work with playing cards as its own divination method. Just look up how to read playing cards, and there's a bunch of ways. But if you want to use playing cards as tarot, just recognize there's no major arcana. You're using your four suits, there's no major arcana. Let the jacks be some combination of the page and knights. And obviously diamonds are pentacles. Clubs are wands. Hearts are cups. And then spades are swords. Right? So it's that easy. And then just do it as you normally would. Okay. Now, let's get back to where we were. And thanks for that fun question. I love it when you all ask tarot questions. Okay, next up, Liz Harrison. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member here. We appreciate you. Curious why a large majority of my dreams keep taking place in the first home my husband and I started raising our family in. We now live in a new home as of 5 years ago and will finish raising our kids in this current home. What is my old home trying to teach me? It was definitely a home where my heart was. Oh, that is such a beautiful question. Thank you so much for the privilege of doing that reading. Thank you. That is beautiful. That is exactly the kind of question that I just, man, I live for this. Okay, so what is that old home representing in your dreams? I think there is a part of you that really was sort of happier, like looking back at your younger version of you in that house. That maybe, like, okay, you were busy, certainly you were tired, but maybe in your memory as you look back, maybe you feel like you were happier then or more hopeful then. But there's some part of you that is sort of longing to be that younger version of yourself. I think the other thing, when you say, well, now I'm going to finish raising my kids, and, I think you are looking ahead, and you've still got some time to go, but I think you are looking ahead at the empty nest and sort of, okay, what will that chapter look like? So I think on a subconscious level, you're thinking about your next chapter, and it's easier to kind of set the tone for that if you start where this story first started, the story of your family first started. And so I don't see it as a bad thing. I just see it as like your identity as a young mother versus your identity now. There's sort of a maiden mother crone cycle situation going on there, but also a sense of what comes next and a sense of what were the things then that made you happy? And Liz, it was my heaven on earth, but I didn't realize it at the time, right? And we all know that memory has a way of improving on things. So, there may be a time that you're going to look back at this time also as a heaven on earth. So there could be a lesson for you there as well. All right. Adrija, I did do your reading, Adrija. I am pretty sure I did. And it focused mostly on work and the possibility for something new coming up at work. So yes, have done. So check back. It was one of the first. Okay, now let's see. Oh, Liz, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, a table for one. Diana, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. What do I need to do and focus on to make my Halloween store a success with the time crunch? Just do as much as you can. Be as busy as you can. Do as much as you can. Remember that you're learning. Remember that this year is a dress rehearsal for next year. But just do it and be passionate about it. Seriously. And Tortoiseshell Moon, I want to thank you so much for the generous super sticker. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, C-Beam was, thanks for being here. My daughter is scheduled for surgery on Monday. I'm so sorry. What can we expect? Okay. I think if you're looking for answers, there will be answers. If you're looking for a good, clean outcome, there will be a good, clean outcome. If you're looking to clear up a problem, the problem will be cleared up. I'm feeling very good about this. I feel like whatever the goal is, the goal will be achieved and in a good way. It feels good. All right. And thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for using members only emojis. We appreciate you. What's the most important thing you need to know right now so you can move forward? You need to know that moving forward doesn't require anything other than one foot in front of the other and a mindset so to do. That's all you need. It's not more complicated than that. So just recognize that as hard as it is, as tough as it is, if you're just like, okay, one foot in front of the other, here we go, and just be determined to move forward, you will move forward. All right. Marion Newberry, so nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. How does the prospect of buying a house elsewhere look, getting out of apartment city lice? If yes, somewhere familiar, near people I know, or somewhere new? How interesting. So first of all, is this a good idea? Yeah, I mean, it's not like, oh my gosh, yes, you must, you have to. It's not like that, but it's like, yeah, it's a fine idea. Now, should you go to a place where you're already familiar? Or should you look around for someplace new? I think you have to look at everything. I think you have to take your time. If you're going to do this, you do not want to do this in a hasty way. You want to take your time and look at all the possibilities and think about all the things and be really sort of, let this be spiritually inspired, and find the perfect thing. Okay. Next question. Angie, nice to see you. Is a forever love coming my way? I believe so. Yes. Yes. And until then, just be happy being yourself. Okay. And La Lima Sony, thanks for being here. We're looking for Nichols, energy and intentions for you. Okay. I'm not sure that there is a lot of energy or intention there. It feels more separate. Okay, Quinn Kilharius, Renata, it's so nice to see you. Thanks for being here. I would like to know if my readings about MA are accurate. I feel my feelings are affecting the energy of the reading and my interpretation. So if you could read about our situation too. So I don't know what the question is about the situation, but the question about the readings that you're getting, are your readings accurate or are they skewed by your own emotion? A little bit of both, a little bit of both. I think it's hard. I think it's hard. And Renata, Quinn Kilharius, if you want to ask a more specific question about the relationship today, I welcome you to do so. If I see it come in, I'll take it for sure. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. Hang on. I'm just over scrolling and looking at comments, and like you get to just sit here and watch me read. Morgana, yes, you can ask a question about someone else. Yes. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Okay, here we go. Princess Nee. Will SD and DOS last? I'm trying to get closure on this situation. Whether or not they last doesn't change the reality of the situation. That's not the thing. The way for you to get closure is to recognize that getting closure and getting out of this situation is the best thing for you. Okay. Sayoni, nice to see you. Will S and me going to be in a proper romantic relationship by the end of this year? I do think it's possible. I think it's possible. I think there's some intention for that. The thing is, like, I think there's an intention for it, but I also feel like there's a barrier to it. So I think it's complex. So I think it's possible, but I think it's complex. And if you know what the complexities are, you may want to kind of pay attention to those things. So yeah, Morgana, if you're witnessing a messy situation, you can absolutely ask, yes. Okay, so Renata, here we go, your question. What can I expect out of this situation with MA? Nothing. I think you should expect to go on about your merry way. Does that make sense? Okay. Oh, Jackie, thank you about the wrap-up card. And Jackie Masters, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. I'm thinking of taking up drawing. Is this a good step for me, or is it a creative craft I could be doing that would be helpful to me? Ooh. I think that it would take some real patience. Like, it would be hard. It would be mentally and emotionally hard. But if you would really put your energy to it, it would be so good. It would be so good. It would be so good for you. It would be so good. And then you can draw a tarot deck, and that would be so good. So yes, it would be good and helpful, but not easy. Leslie Jones, am I failing my brother as a big sister? You know, your brother has his issues. You're doing every possible thing that you possibly could do here. And if that's not enough, it's not your fault. And no, you're not failing him. You're doing enough. If it's not enough for him, this is not your problem. I'm so sorry. He needs to get his head out of his butt. I'm sorry. You know, he has a lot of issues, and my heart goes out to him. He's got some difficulties for sure. But I also feel like he doesn't help himself. So there's all of that. Okay. Oh, Kathy, thank you for your feedback. Okay, Jenny, yours is the next. Okay. Jenny, how can I form more meaningful connections with others? That's beautiful. By being patient and by not making it judgment and repudiation about you. There is something like in any kind of a relationship with you, you're looking for affirmation from the other person that you don't totally suck as a person. Because you have an inner narrative that you do, that you totally suck as a person. So part of relationships for you is to get some reflection back that you don't. And I think you have to get to a place of some healing where your baseline is better than that, where your baseline is, I am a good person and I do not suck. And so then in relationship with someone, we're now collaborating, we're talking, we're enjoying, and you're not looking for that person to affirm that you are not a waste of oxygen on the planet. Do you see what I'm saying? So I think it's about your relationship with yourself, really. So there's that. Jackie, I will persevere. Please do. That is fabulous. Fabulous. Okay. And Febborn, I'll look forward to speaking with you. Okay, Fatima, do I see a new beginning in your marriage? I think you'd really have to work to make that happen. I think it's possible, but you'd have to work to make it happen. Okay, Zara M., nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. We appreciate you. Need advice about why and how to deal with him. I mean, my question is, do you have to deal with him? Like, I would say as little as possible. It feels like this person just can make things very confusing and difficult. Prayer, so nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Future prediction about finances. Should I go for a new remote job? So generally speaking, when we look at finances, if you went for a new remote job, I think it would take a minute to get one. When we look at the job you have, I mean, it's all right, you know. Do I think you could improve your situation by getting a new job? Eventually, yes. Eventually, yes. So when I look at your finances going forward, I feel like right now it's just about managing what you have right now. And in terms of bringing new money in, that can happen, but not for a while. So manage what you have now wisely. Okay, Martha Vink, it's so nice to see you. Thanks for being here. What's a good thing to focus on now that I'm heading home from vacation, which was great? Glad you had a good vacation. Keeping your balance, you know, like you don't just want to come back to the same, overwhelm that you left. So you have to focus on how to keep your balance, how to have boundaries, how to do good time allocation so that you can feel a little less overwrought in your day-to-day. Truthfully, thanks for being here. Message from Capricorn, you're Scorpio. No, I feel like whatever is going on here, it does not feel like anything that's going to resolve in a way that's in your best interest. So I would just say no that. Just did. I like it when you read while I'm doing stuff over here. It feels like we're just together chilling, right? Right. AP, nice to see you. Will therapy be what I'm looking for? Will their therapist be a good fit for me? So the thing is, I think therapy is really necessary for you. Well, for everyone at some point or another. But for you right now, I think it really is necessary. I think it's going to be hard. I think it's going to take time. And I think the therapist that you find will be good enough. Yes, I think this can work out well for you. Yes. So, Angel, what do my daughters and son think of me as a mother? If negative, what to do about it? So that's like a really very interesting question. And, you know, the first thing is like, are they really like all of them united in thinking the same thing? I would say probably not. And I would say no matter how old they are, like in a way, they haven't grown up enough to recognize that you are human. And so I think they like to blame things on you and they like to manipulate you. And I think what you need to do about it is have some boundaries and tell them to go solve their own problems. Or, you know, do for them what is appropriate. But I feel like they're trying to get you to do more for them rather than to do for themselves. So I think you need to be careful. Okay, here we go. Morgana the Great. R just got out of an abusive relationship, and her relationship with her BFF has been weird lately, like romantic vibes. Her BFF has a BF, though, so I would like to know if there's any romantic feelings between them. I feel like it doesn't strike me that way particularly, like maybe, but it doesn't really strike me that way. And I would just say enjoy them as people and don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It is good that the abusive relationship is over. That's the important thing. All right. Excuse me. Bouncer into club. What are Pisces' feelings toward me? All right. I feel like there's anger, there's attraction, there's like, I wonder if something has already gone down between the two of you because there does seem to be some upset, there's some anxiety. There's a lot of big feelings here. But I don't know that there's anything you can do. I feel like whatever this situation is, you got to let that person do what they're going to do, and there's nothing you can do, is the way that shows up. Okay, Faith, what is coming toward me? Any blessings? Can you say when? I think, Faith, even before the end of September, there will be some changes in your day-to-day that I think you'll really enjoy. River's Edge, nice to see you. What is the best I can do in Hawaii? So that's an interesting question. And I do feel like this is specific to the fires in some way, but it may also additionally be specific to you. And overall, the best is good. Like, there's opportunities here. There's opportunities to be helpful, and there's also opportunities for you. So, the best you can do is good. Okay. Elizabeth Peralta, a message from my spirit guides that what I need to do right now. What you need to do right now is be more patient, consider some schooling and or a new job or career path. Linus, nice to see you. How are things going in my work? Am I appreciated and will I be promoted? You're not treated with as much appreciation as you should be. But I do think that there will be a promotion and some new training that will be helpful. DH, so nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. We appreciate you. I've made an offer on a condo. Is this a good move? Will the social aspects outweigh the loss of privacy? Are EMFs from the power lines a health risk? Will my house sell for a good price? So there's a lot. So let's work backwards. First of all, will your house sell for a good price? Yeah, I think you'll do fine with the house sale. EMFs from the power lines. I think the jury is really out on that. Do I think you will suffer ill effects? I don't think it's ideal. But not necessarily a terrible problem. What about loss of privacy? I don't think that you are going to feel the loss of privacy as much as you think you're going to feel it. I think your home will feel like your home. And the social aspects will be... I don't know, man. I don't know that you're going to really enjoy the social aspects of this particular condo association necessarily, but I think it's fine. I think this will be fine. I think it's okay. Okay, so one question per person, please. If you have a question about another person, we can do that. Someone who's there with you that wants to know something. Linda G, thanks for being here. Are there hopes for reconciliation? I don't mean to be rude, but why would you want to? I mean, even if you had the option, why would you want to? I can't imagine. I can't imagine why you would want to. So you may have hope, but I'm just here to say, why would you do that to yourself? It just feels like that would be the worst thing. Just saying. River's Edge, got it. Satel, message from Spirit. What do I need to know about or work on? I feel like there's something very specific regarding education, like literally going to school and learning something that would help you in career. Okay. And Zara M, you're looking for some clarification. When you say what does Y want and how to deal with it as I want to move forward in life, my feeling is like, I don't know what the relationship between you and Y is, but like the way I'm reading it, I'm like, who cares what Y wants? You know, why do we care about Y? That's what I want to know. Like, why does this even matter? Well, why does this even matter? Like, I just, like, I'm not seeing a connection. Like, when you talk about moving forward in life, are you talking about moving forward with this person in some way? Is that what you're talking about? And if so, do you have evidence to think that that's a possibility or that that's a good idea? Do you have evidence of that in your own life? Because I'm having a hard time seeing it if that's what you're talking about. So if you could be more clear about the question, that would be helpful. Okay. Shamora, will I meet my soulmate this year? So that's such an interesting question, and I'm not going to go on my tirade. I'm just going to say that when you say soulmate, I assume what you're talking about is a person with whom you could have a healthy, workable relationship. And that's what you're asking. And I'm going to say there's a really good chance of it this year. There's a really good chance. So, yeah, I think it could happen. Justine, I'm on fire today. Yes, perhaps. Yes, perhaps. So, Terry T., will I meet a man for love soon? I feel like there's been some difficulty in that department. And you may have a tendency to attract people who are not going to be good for you. Like, be careful about narcissists. Be really careful. I think that, like, I think you meet people fine. I think it's just that when you meet them, I don't think you vet them well enough. I think you will eventually have a great relationship, but you need to be careful about the people you choose. Seriously. All right, so Zara, do you have a further question there? I'm happy if I misunderstood your question. I'm happy to clarify there. Likewise, I feel like I've come to the end. Did I miss anyone? Let me know. Please reiterate. If you haven't asked and you want to, now's the time. So what do we have going on? We've got stuff coming up. We're in last call for readings, y'all, just saying. And what do we have coming up this coming week? Do we have anything this coming week? What do we have? No, it's not till Tuesday the 29th. Tuesday the 29th, we have a members-only live stream. Okay, I've seen a couple more questions coming in. I'm still checking to see if Zara's going to come back with any clarifications for me. Selma, will I ever reconcile with Sharma? You know, I think there is a possibility that could happen. I don't know if it would last, but I think you could get another chance. 55 degrees, nice to see you. I'm currently having a spiritual crisis, I'm sorry, and feel pulled toward a certain path. What can I expect if I follow where I'm being led? I think you need to be careful. I think what is pulling you toward this path is probably not actually spiritual. It could be someone else who wants you to do a certain thing. It could be something that feels easier. It could be like some amount of spiritual bypassing, but I would be very careful. Okay. DH, I did get your question. I did get you. And so it's there. I did all the condo questions for you, DH. Okay, Zara, thanks for coming back. Thank you for clarifying. I appreciate it. Should you leave this situation? Yeah, big time. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be harsh at all. I know this is difficult. And, you have to do what feels right for you. I'm not here to tell you what to do or how to live your life. But the way the cards are coming up for me, this doesn't serve you from my perspective. So if you're thinking about leaving the situation, the cards do confirm that could be something you want to think about. I just, without knowing the situation, I was just like, get away, get away, get away. And now that I know, I still sort of like, get away, get away. So there's that. Okay, DH, I totally did your reading. Let me see if I remember. Okay. You can scroll back and see the cards, but DH, I was a little worried about the EMFs. That's a thing, but probably not terrible. Your house will sell quickly, probably like this fall. It is a good move. I don't think loss of privacy is going to be a terrible issue, but I also don't think you're going to love your neighbors. So you can go back and see the reading, but that's what I remember. And congratulations. All right. Let's see. Here we go. Let me just go back. There's a couple more. Divine Abundance. What's hidden from me? Boyfriend is aloof. I think there are some issues in the relationship, but I don't think it's necessarily as bad as you're thinking. I think that you do need to kind of get the boyfriend to talk, for sure. Teresa, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for being a moderator. You've tried to come up with a specific question this whole time. So now you just want to ask what the universe wants you to know. I can do that. That it's heavy, but it's going to be worth it. Teresa, what the universe wants you to know is it's heavy and it's going to be worth it. Do it. So Zara, Kimberly, I see your question. I'll get to you in 1 second. Am I in a situation where I can't be in a healthy relationship because of the ties with Y's family? I think Y is the issue. I don't want to put it off on the family. I think Y is the issue. I mean, the family's no great shakes either. But I think Y is the problem. All right. So, Kimberly, so nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Is this new job offer better for my future than the current job? Not necessarily. I mean, it's nice that you got an offer, but I think you need to weigh it out very carefully because new doesn't necessarily mean better. And truthfully, I don't think you do love him. I don't. I think you love the person you wish he was. I think you love your imagination of him. I don't think you love him. Okay. Sei Chong, nice to see you. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. What do me and this person need to work on for us to have a healthy relationship? We are in a separation and working on our personal lives. Thanks for that background. So, and I mean, I don't know if there's really compatibility here. You may find that this is a situation where you have a lot of attraction to each other, but not real compatibility. It is important for you each to be working on your own selves and your own stuff right now. That's a fact. But I don't know. I think the two of you would really want a relationship to work. And I'm not sure if it's going to be able to in the long run, just because I'm not sure there's compatibility. So there's that. All right, my friends, I want to thank you so much. It's a real pleasure to be with you today. I should be back on Monday with the 3-card weekly reading. I'll look forward to seeing you there. There's a link. There's 2 links in the description. One to book your private reading with me, so please do that. And another to get your StarCon ticket, so please do that. Thank you so much, friends. Take care.